I certainly probably made a mistake in trying to film this on a public walkway with a beautiful view. A lot of people trying to access the bridge, and they're looking at me and staring at my fat tattooed ass, wondering what the F I'm doing and whether they should actually walk behind me while making this video. This will be part 2 on the information fascism. The one thing that burns my ass the most, like I said, I have about 13 terabytes of information, most of which are PDF books. But I mean, there are a lot of tools that you need to take advantage. Some people don't care that much about information. They think it's on a website, it's going to stay there. That's not the case. The more juicy the information, and I don't mean scandalous or copyrighted. I'm actually talking about true, non-copyrighted, hardcore information. They think it's going to stay there, and it's not. It's either going to vanish, someone doesn't pay their hosting fees, but more often than not, I've found that some of the most amazing information is the quickest to disappear. As is also the case with some of the most interesting books ever written, some of which you'll find in university libraries, but you'll never find them on Amazon.com. Here's an absolute truism. I've been called the god of books for over 20 years, and the fact is that the more useful, the more educational, the more excellent a book is, the more it is above the level of typical intellectualism either in America or Europe, and the more likely it is to go out of copyright. Think about looking at information like sitesucker.com, where it'll actually draw information off a website without having to have access to the website. It's called Sitesucker. Oh, go ahead. All right. This is I've made the mistake of actually placing the camera here that people want to come up this walkway. I don't know whether to go past me or not. Where was I? Yeah, talking about the Sitesucker. It's an application that will actually draw all information off a website, whether you have access to it or not. I am not advocating any sort of illegitimate information acquisition. There are a lot of... hold on a second, let this biker go past. You gotta be careful about doing location scouting for filming videos. But check the link below. I wrote an article for Apple.com a few years ago about archiving your data. I mean, I have heard so many countless thousands of stories of people that have lost information due to hard drive crash, or some of the most vital information being lost forever. As I've said before, the internet, by and large, is a gigantic chalkboard full of information, and more often than not, other than someone not paying their hosting fees for bringing the information to the world, is the fact that there are a lot of information fascists, and I don't just mean China and Russia. And I used to live in Russia. I know it's sort of socialistic, fascistic information that they try to front to people, and I've spent more than my fair share of staring at the idiocy of various channels, especially out of Russia. But I mean, CNN and Fox, they're all skewed. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, you know, you're a liberal or a conservative. It doesn't make any difference. Of course, the people that espouse free speech and free information are those that are actually, unfortunately, those that want to squelch free information the most. This is fascism. Unfortunately, that falls about 90% into the realm of liberalism, and I found the same reason that people that scream the most about compassion are usually the most uncompassionate people. The people that you think that are rude assholes are the first to jump in front of a bullet or actually put their neck on the lines for somebody else and are truly compassionate. It is also the case with information and free speech that those that talk and scream about it the most are actually usually, and typically so, a generalization is a truism by default, and therefore is not both not a logical fallacy but also an absolute truism, because it is generally true that the people that scream the most about free information and free speech are the most interested in squelching it, because when they refer to free information, they're only talking about information that they agree with specifically. But take a look at the article link below on saving information. You might not hold information as dearly as I do, but I've spent most of my life archiving really important information and bringing, you know, some 300-year-old books to the hands of people that can never have access to it. And I don't mean copyright infringement. I'm not talking about any sort of infringement upon copyright or whatnot. I'm talking about access to information, and it is a sorry state of affairs that these Tor sites like Kick-Ass Tor and Pirate Bay, you know, I'm not advocating, I don't download any illegal movies or any illegal music. I don't advocate that to anybody, that these places have become bastions of free information that other people want to shut down. Of course, they mostly want to be shut down because of course, they're posting torrents for illegal information. Obviously music and videos and stuff, and that of course is taking money out of the mouths and hands of other people. And whether these are rich corporate types or not, I don't care. Obviously that is illegal. But the squelching of free information, the most vital information, has limited access. Now, the most important thing in the entire universe is wisdom. The second most important thing is empirical knowledge, episteme. And it is alas, unfortunately, the case that, for example, I translate ancient Greek, and I'm a Neoplatonic Platonist, and also translate ancient Pali and Prakrit, that these information fascists, people, for example, that control places like Wikipedia, one of the most evil things in the whole world is truth by consensus, because there's no such thing as truth by consensus. There's nobody on this earth, for example, that knows more about the term and the definition of anatta or anatman than I do, but I can't actually write the Wikipedia article for it and give actual doctrinal citations with the original text included, because it doesn't fit into the modus operandi of these closed-minded information fascists. It doesn't matter if you're an expert. It doesn't matter if you're the single most educated person in the world on a tiny topic. Anything that threatens the standard of anybody else's beliefs or their convictions or their doctrine or their fascist beliefs is immediately squelched. And the internet, like I said, is a gigantic chalkboard and is full of all these mongers that are in control of bulletin boards and moderators of Wikipedia. They actually pay. You used to be able to, and I think you still can, buy Wikipedia spots on eBay where you actually become a super moderator. I forget what it's called, but you know, there's so many thousands of examples, and there are ways around this. And you know, Google itself squelches a lot of free information. I'm not talking about copyrighted stuff, but squelches a lot of information. But there are ways around this too. And I'm making a lot more videos about this in the future and how you can work your way around these information fascists that want to control and destroy information, especially free information, educational information that helps people and uplifts people. Okay? Thanks for watching. Catch you later.